you know what? No, you know what it was. It's because there was a time before, and you could probably concur with this. There was a time when you even talk about it, like social media. Really, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, well, you know, I'm not doing this, and look, it's in the WAP tune. I don't cook, I don't clean. Well, you better do it now because you ain't gonna eat.
He recorded her and was mocking her because he was like,
When she was
stop
mocking,
lying
yeah.
to people. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I wasn't even really talking about her.
Yeah,
I was more
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about because I've been to certain events
fact
and
that people
and I've
really
seen
listen
people
about it.
dancing to the tune, singing that particular part.
Yeah, you see what it is. Now,
Like I've seen it with my own eyes.
now with that now, touching on just that in general, you know, what people were literally taking in and tuning in this year and looking at certain things like you're saying with WAP and obviously with men and women. I think now it's funny because it's like it's peak because it's so unrealistic.
No, it's a first world problem. What it is, yeah. You see this country here, we complain about things that ain't really things to complain about.
Right.
You with me? Like, for example, like I'm fed up of hearing people complain about, say, for example, and I'll say this right with my chest with Vicky next to me because it's not a diss. Like, oh, you know, wage gap, women should get paid the same as men. Who would say you shouldn't? Is there anyone really out there saying that you shouldn't get paid the same as men if you're doing the same job?
The companies that aren't paying them.
Yeah, that's the companies. But when girls talk about it, they're talking about it like me and you are saying, no, you shouldn't.
You
should get paid the same. No one's disagreeing with that. Shut up, innit? What it is, people just like to complain about things in this particular country. And then we'll start saying stuff like, we'll turn everything into a gender thing. So, you know, they'll say, you know, women's empowerment, for example, we're doing this thing and rare. And, you know, guys have been doing this and X, Y, Z. I'm like, all right, cool, I get it. But the building you're in, like, who installed the air conditioning? None of you did it. Like, your nails prove that you didn't do it. Like,
I guess you're referring in a sense where it's like this country's becoming a bit more sensitive. Like it's hypersensitive to.
It's become not just hypersensitive. They've become hypersensitive and they're comparing apples to oranges. So, for example, they'll compare some guy that's, I don't know, a guy that works on a building site and he's been working there for, I don't know, 5 years. So he's on a certain level, he's worked his way up the ranks, he's done the course, he's got his certificates and he's earning a decent amount of peace. Whereas some woman that's randomly working part-time in, I don't know, Sainsbury's or something, and she just happens to blog. And why are men getting paid more? In what? What respect? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, don't just compare wages, compare the job, the wages.
I think what that is, I think what that boils down to is, and I think it's something Lin May was talking about on Instagram the other day, but today or whatever, about the whole people saying do your own research. And I think people don't want to accept facts anymore. So what's happening right now is people are going online and they're seeing an argument, they're seeing somebody complain. Yeah. And then they're running with that. So, for example, we're going to touch on the whole, you know, rappers and, you know, all these exposing and hacking Instagram accounts, whatever, yeah? Good. But it's like, when you look at the situation with, just with the whole feminism stuff and, you know, the whole counterpart, masculine, toxic masculinity, whatever, this year, it's like, people are not really taking in. So, for example, someone recorded a video, like there was a video today I saw online, I didn't even watch it, but I saw that the guy was on there and the caption said, he tried to give his youths Christmas presents, but his baby mother's not having it. Now, I didn't even watch the actual video because when I saw the caption, I just said to myself, how do I know what you're saying is true? Why are we only getting a video of what you're saying now? Like, and
why do I need a caption? I don't need subtitles. You get me? Anything I want subtitles for is when I'm watching Narcos.
Who was it? I posted it. Was it the guy or the girl?
I think it was one of them pages that made you think or something like that. And so for me,
that's
it was like,
thing. Man, then when you send me videos, if I have to follow them to see the video, I ain't doing it because I know it's a chatty patty page. I'm not on that.
No,
man, don't follow them pages.
In Made You Think's defense, I think his page is probably one of the best because there's a mixture of business, finance.
No,
wealth.
I've seen some of his interviews.
Yeah, you know ones there.
I'm not dissing anyone in particular. I'm just saying I'm not interested in that.
I know what you mean.
It means nothing to me. Like I call it shade borough logic. I ain't got no time for it, fam. Like even down to when they talk about certain things on there, it's like it's clickbaitish.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I'm the kind of person, especially now with the way the things are reported about this COVID stuff, I'm only going off of real things that I see with my own eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read an article by this person and then see another article by that person, because that whole do your research is reading a bag of people's blogs, and really and truly that's all it's about, because you put ads on the blogs anyway, and then you want to get your money. It's long.
There has to be some
all the
general.
time I'm doing that, I could have made a beat or something.
No, you're right. There has to be some general kind of like, you got to connect dots. Do you see where I'm coming from? And obviously, you know, a lot of people know how I feel about the whole COVID thing in general. But, you know, when you're sitting back and you're looking at it entirely, you can just see this whole entire year. 3 things you can see about COVID this whole entire year, yeah? That you can say, I should say, just from based upon observation. 1, it's not as deadly as they're making it out to be. Because, and from what I'm seeing...
Some people would get at you for saying that.
Some people get at me, that's cool. But at the end of the day, if you look at the facts, look at the recovery rate. That's what people need to look at. We keep talking about cases. I think
you said this on another video still.
Right, but cases are cases, isn't it? Like, how many cases of cancer were there in 2018? How many cases of tuberculosis?
Just general flu deaths.
It's just general flu deaths. But you see where I'm coming from? So it's like one of them ones where if you look at the facts and you realize, okay, cool, how much people around you in your group of 6, you know, they say the whole 6-degree separation, that have had COVID and died instantly. Or they've had COVID and they've been in some mad... You know the ones there, you start to look at things from an observation of, okay, in real life, how is this really affecting me? 2, with COVID as well, you can see that it's being used to make money and change the way we live. We're never going to go back to a packed stadium again.
Good.
We're never going to go back to, you know, I mean, I know a lot of people talking about, New Year's Eve, man's got warehouse party and that, which I find so funny, because why is there such a need for you to still attach yourself to by force? Like, but again, that's some people's escapism. You know, that's mad. But
I went to a warehouse party still for Halloween.
Oh, that's cool.
Bareface. I don't care. Me and my cousin dressed up as Ghostbusters.
Full outfit and that. Yeah. Why don't man take no photos, blood?
You know what? I'll say it. You're like this. Yeah. So when I got there, when my cousin bought the uniform, it didn't even fit properly. Like, and it was his idea. He was bang on this. No, I do it every year. You get me? Shout out to you, because I know you're watching. Like, he was bang on this Halloween thing. So I was like, all right, cool, do it. Got the first uniform, didn't fit. Then got another one. It was too baggy, and I thought, oh, whatever, and I just did it. Anyway, went to the party now, and it was in New Cross, and it's like it was in a proper warehouse, like where the arches are and stuff. And then when we went there was a few feds there and whatever, but I think it was just like maybe 2 or 3 of them, and one car or whatever. And then that was it. It was a madness to get in. People were pushing down the door, then we finally got in. There was like water dripping from the ceiling and all them things there, and like some black stuff as well. So it's like, I just wasn't in the party mood. I was kind of just watching my P's and Q's, and it was a sweatbox in there as well. So that's why. I think I took 1 snap and I didn't even really. So that's why there was no pictures.
I just feel like with the partying thing for me, but I can understand where people may want to escape it. Now, for me, just looking at 2020 coming towards the end of it, one thing I wanted to talk about as well was just the whole exposing of people like rappers in the UK. You know, we can talk about the whole Dutch situation. We can talk about even just with, because there's so much stuff that happened, but I remember just looking at the way certain rappers now, in terms of their class and their skill, and it's very hard to find authenticity now from what I'm seeing. I'm happy with the UK, to be fair. I'm actually happy with the UK scene. I'm happy with the way it's grown, you know, but there is an aspect of, like, now you're finding that people are just dissing people for the sake of dissing people and then just blowing up from that. And even with that as well, because you know what? It is healthy competition when it comes to creative arts and whatnot. But then I thought to myself, you know what? Like, is it healthy in a sense?
Social media competition, bruv.
Yeah, like
people will go out there. People will act like you didn't duppy them in a track just because you got more views than them.
Yeah, like all of that. And it's just, for me, I just said to myself,
we live in a world where people still think that Wiley beat Dirty Dogs. Remember that clash?
Oh, yeah.
Dirty Dogs won. Yeah, but there's people that actually think Wiley won. Are you mad? There's people that was... But it was based on his popularity, so it's the same thing with this. People who... Like, there could be a girl now, because I know who you're talking about. There could be a girl now that's kind of shelling it down, making bare tracks, and because she takes a shot at one of the older MCs...
Things, yeah. Oh, he's talking about Trillery and Nole.
I wasn't actually. I was talking about Ivorian Doe and Lady LaSure, but you can say them as well.
I didn't even know about that.
The reason I don't really talk about Trilly and Nole because I like both of them. In fact, I like Lady LaSure and Ivorian Doe as well. But my point is, like, Ivorian Doe's more present. You get me? She's more relevant. Whereas Lady LaSure, she even said she's not really on the music thing no more. She wants to do YouTubing now. So her time, she doesn't really care about that no more. She don't need to. She's bought a yard for her mum and all them thing there. You get me? But to the youths, it's like, yeah, well, Ivorian Doe's relevant. So it's like they'll forget your past quick.
Yeah.
I keep using this example all the time. Like I told my son about RA time ago and he didn't care. But when he did a tune with Fredo, all of a sudden, and then I just said to my son, I've been telling you from time. So, but it's like, if you're not viral and you haven't got that many followers, it's like you don't exist. That's the world we live in with that generation. Yeah. So that's why I don't even think it's competition no more.
I feel like it's, I don't know, Vicky as a female, seeing female artists battle out, mad. Like, I mean, even with the Trillian Nole thing, I kind of liked it. I felt it was quite healthy because Nole, I love Nole's delivery when it comes to that. I think she's so cold, personally. But being from the old school era, she still kept, you know, ones there.
Stop. You see, like, this is another example. You're saying she's cold. Okay, cool. It's documented. He said that she's cold. There's a tweet. You said that it's cold. But how do we know you really feel that? So I tell you, I know that she's cold because I've got her vinyl in my house. Yeah, but that's but what I'm saying is, it's easy to say that someone's cold now, and then next thing you know, you take it back and say, "Oh, you're whack anyway" because you fell out. It's
yeah,
like
but that's the thing. That's preference because I've been following Nole for years now.
Yeah, I know you have.
You see where I'm coming from.
Forget us now. That this generation we're in now, people can take back their compliments just like that. Yeah, and that goes right back. But to cancel culture.
But do you know what? I think that's people though. I think that's down to the person. Because I feel like there's some people that hold up. It's kind of like when you get friends where you fall out and they chat all your business, and then you got ones that they'll take your certain secrets to their dying grave. Like it's not a thing you ever have to worry about. I think those people have always existed.
Yeah,
I just think it's more in our face because there's social media.
Yeah,
I don't think much in society has changed. I think it's just carried on, and now it's more everyone can.
You know what? That's true because touching on what you're saying about in our faces and obviously seeing things, like when we're talking about the whole, you know, Dutch situation as well, and we're talking about, you know, just the whole hacking of Instagram and whatnot. I mean, I would love to know how that all happened, but it's mad, yeah, because you sit there and you think to yourself, right, like, you know, with this cancel culture thing, how effective is it really? You know, one's there like...
It ain't effective, bruv. It's just for Twitter. People ain't on it.
I think it is a little bit, only in a sense where if you are the person getting cancelled and your money now gets affected, because once you're tarnished in that way, all it is even, for example, like, and to take it back to something that's a bit irrelevant, but it proves the point in the sense of like with cigarettes, like they were saying, I think you've watched that whole What the Health documentary.
Oh yeah,
and they made a point. They don't have to prove that cigarettes are healthy for you to smoke. They just have to insert some form of doubt for you to believe that maybe it's all right. But that people are still going to buy into it. And then all these years later, people still smoke like their life depends on it.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
breaks
just
and all them
inserting
things
that doubt that maybe it's okay. And that's kind of that's the back that you're going to get to. You're going to get people who will still buy into that.
So do you feel like someone like Dutch, could you feel like he could come back from this situation?
I don't
define coming back.
I don't know.
I mean, well, for me personally, just it's a mad one because obviously the way he's gone about it personally, I feel like it just proved that he was wrong. You know, one's there like, this is my opinion. So, you know, I'm not sending shots at anyone. I'm just going by observation. But it's just funny how I saw a lot of people, you know, even like with Wiley this year, the whole cancel of Wiley. And I think to myself, bro, like, it's mad. How can we cancel my man like that? Just because he had an opinion. You know, man's there. Like, it's mad.
But Dutch was one of the people that spoke against Wiley.
I saw that. And that's for me.
And I said this to my people and I said, where's the Jewish people defending Dutch right now?
Right. You know the one's there.
And this is another example. Man, them, you know, like when man, them watching, yeah, and women, yeah. You know, when one of us as black people, we do something and it's like, I know you want a cape, but like Jewish people, they're powerful. They can hold their own nuts. You don't need to jump in and say your thing just to prove I'm not like him. Look at me. Like Don Cheadle done that with Letitia Wright the other day with because you know they're both in Avengers.
Yeah.
And she must have shared a video questioning like the vaccine thing and tear. Like she was kind of like more skeptic like me and you. Don Cheadle comes out publicly saying, "Oh, I can't co-sign this," and I'm like, "Blood, you could have pulled her up to one side. Fam. You don't need to do this. Like, black people, stop doing this thing where you chastise people publicly to impress your non-white counterparts. You don't. There's no reward, bruv. There's no reward because there ain't no Jewish people riding for Dutch right now. That's the proof. I'm not saying don't draw people out and talk to them directly and tell them, right, you're wrong for that, you know. I don't think you should say that. I think that's racist. That's cool. But this public thing, like, I think it's sneaky. It's sneaky.
And you know what? To touch on that,
you come like them guys that come on posts and say, "Oh, girl, ladies, I'm not like that. I'm a real man." And like, bruv, you're not gonna get the girl blood. You're not gonna get it.
Personally, so I'll let you go in a minute, Vicky. Yeah, but for me, I feel like what you're saying about that, the whole publicly having to address things. One thing I've learned now in this year, I mean, I never used to follow celebrities anyway.
I don't follow them.
I'm not taking any of them men there seriously at all. And that's not
look at the major hype thing.
Every single I wouldn't get major hype. What?
Major hype. He beat up his girl and all them things there and exposed a video of
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
what you were
like,
saying, yeah. Like, see, like for me with the celebrity thing, I don't know when they're acting or when they're not acting. And I've always said that, especially with people like Jada and Will, because you know, as much as I love their art and their stuff that they do, there's a lot of stuff I'm looking at. I'm just thinking, like, blood, we even need to even be hearing you lot talk about X, Y, and Z. But anyway, yeah, you say what you was gonna.
Just on that point, I think there's the whole idea of how society puts these people on pedestals because they're in the public light. And I think that's where the real issue lays. Is in the fact that people have these ideologies, and it's like, just because you're good at a craft, you might be great at R&B songs. It doesn't mean you're a peaceful person in real life. Or that's what you actually live by.
R. Kelly.
How you make your money.
R. Kelly, innit? Yeah.
So it's like, I think hopefully that stops. I don't really know too much about people coming back because Dutch Velli, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know him outside of being Steph London's brother and the fact that yes, I was aware he did music, but it's not something I really listen to. So
he's actually good still. But
yeah, that's not even to say he isn't. It's just I wasn't aware of him too tough around that, so that's why I feel like I can't comment on whether or not he can come back from it because I'm not that well informed.
The younger crowd, they'll forget about it sooner or later and they'll move on, trust me. And he'll have a career, but what will probably happen is certain people might not want to make tracks of him and but as a new generation comes up, it becomes less relevant.
But I think the issue lays more so in the power of the people that put the money and pump money behind this person.
Well, they stopped.
And that's the thing. It's like with R. Kelly, for example. R. Kelly was making his money for the longest time.
For the longest time, yeah.
This was an issue.
Yeah.
And it was going on. Not to compare their cases, but it's once those people stop putting money, all of a sudden he's sweating. Now it's a problem. Do you get what I mean? Now it's being made such a thing. So I feel like it's stuff like that where when let's say society talks about cancelling people, if they keep screaming that for long enough for these big companies to stop investing, that's where the issues start coming into play for people.
Yeah.
So do you guys feel like, I want to talk about 2021 in a minute, but do you guys feel like with this year, because for me, like you're saying as well, like I've just sat back, I literally sat back and I watched a lot of things play out and I'm thinking to myself, rah, you know what? For me, even with the algorithms, like the conversation we had the other day, you know, I'm just thinking you got to be really careful what you tune into and what you put out on the internet because even when my man's thing got hacked, I'm just thinking, blood, you've just got so much evidence of you out here.
How do you get hacked?
That's another question.
Because it's this term, people say hacked, and when I think hacked, I'm thinking of like a room full of bare computers and they're getting decryption codes and
like
I am like that film,
like in Startup, the TV show.
The film that Will Smith was in. What was the other one?
I Am Legend.
You're talking about not Hitched, the one with what's it called again?
iRobots.
No. There's another one where like
with his son.
No, it's one where it's like Regina King's in it as well, and it's like I can't remember what it's called, but it's a thing where he does something, and then someone wants to frame him, and it's like they do bare madnesses behind the scenes, like shut down his bank accounts and all sorts. You get me? Like, I can't remember. People know what I'm talking about, but it's a Will Smith film, and Regina King's in it, and all the rest of it. When you think of hacking, when people say hacking to me, I hear random people say, "Oh, they hacked my Snapchat," and I'm like, they just found your password because you didn't change your password on your phone. You did not get hacked. It's not that deep.
Or you had
don't even know how to code a HTML website. What are you talking about hacked for?
The thing is, there are skilled hackers, but my thing is, why would they hack you?
Right.
Like, why did you become the person that they needed to hack? And if you hack into my inbox and you expose my private conversations, it doesn't change the fact that I've had those conversations.
Yeah, I'll be trying to hack bank accounts about your DMs.
This is the thing, and this is why for me, I'm looking at the situation from a standpoint of like you said, you know, how does it work when it comes to this whole hacking thing? Because at the end of the day, like I'm not trying to defend anyone. I think, but I'm thinking like, are you that relevant You know what I'm saying? Like,
what is the purpose behind it?
Or people say something stupid on Twitter and then they say, I never said it, I got hacked. Like, say it with your chest, man. Like, it's just all this idiot thing.
yeah.
I think the one thing that I really do want to come from this year is I want people to stop asking celebrities and people in the spotlight to be their children's role models. I think it's bloody ridiculous. And it's a conversation that's been had
High
so
five
much
you on that
over
one.
time because I feel like it's just stupid. It's like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
are you
yeah.
expecting these people to be these role models for your kids that are in your house with you or supposedly in your house with you day after day after day? You sleep in the same home, you wake up in the same home, but you're looking for someone outside the house to do that.
I made it to piggyback off what you said.
It's foolish,
Yeah, it's foolish. But to support what you're saying, I don't even follow celebrities like that. Like, even artists, I don't need to follow your Instagram. I don't care what you've done with your girlfriend or your dog or what first words your youth said. I'm listening to your music. I do not give a damn about your personal life. So I'm not following you in your Snap or your Insta. I'll follow your Spotify because I'm listening to your music. You get me? And if you're a music artist, yeah, and I'm following you, it's probably because I know you or I've met you or you get me? I don't even like taking pictures with like rappers or anything like that because also the things they're associated with.
Yeah.
I don't want to get dragged up into it. So it's a thing of, if you're a music artist, I'll follow your thing on Spotify. If you're an actor, I'll watch your thing on Netflix. Like, that's it. I don't need to follow because to be quite honest, I'm not really interested in your life.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real. Because on a normal day, you're a normal person.
Yeah, it's like with the whole Kanye thing, you know, like running for president and people were there talking about, like, you know, Kanye. I'm just like, this guy is so clever. All he's got to do is come out and just say one's there, like, and you know, all on Kanye.
Yeah.
And with that, I just started to learn. It's like you said, the role model thing, that's deep. The role model thing with celebrities, because you sit there and you have a family of 4, but it's like the wife maybe watching all these reality TV shows and just subconsciously downloading what a life is supposed to be. And then the husband now is looking at all these other different, ways of getting money and all these, how these other guys look and what they're doing for their women and thinking, it's like when I was looking at the whole Cardi B Offset and people debating about their relationship and
whether or not she should get back with him.
Who cares?
I'm not even like who cares, but it's like, how could you look at that as a successful relationship? No disrespect to none of them, but in my head I'm thinking all I'm seeing is an exchange, a trade. You get a gift, I get a gift. You have, sex, or I have sex. There's no.
The thing is, I feel like whether or not it's successful is neither here nor there, but I feel like it's like that with most people in their relationships.
Right.
Everybody's in it for whatever reason they're in it. And if both your reasons match up and you're both delivering, nothing else matters.
I don't even like seeing relationships on social media now.
Like, to me, I don't see, like, when people are telling Cardi, like, but he's done this, he's going to do it to you again. Okay, cool, that's an issue. You still got issues going on in your home that you're not dealing with.
It's true,
Why are you so concerned and so invested in her decisions? Like,
so would you, looking at 2021 going forward, what would you want to see from 2021? I mean, looking at obviously we survived 2020. That's how I'm seeing it. No one ain't, especially with the 3 of us, none of us have lost anyone. Well, I can't say we haven't lost. We probably lost someone that we know already.
Yeah.
But when it comes to even dealing with that as well, we kind of survived in a sense. We know what we need to do. 2021, as we're seeing right now, we might be entering into a next tier or whatever. But what would you want to see? Or what have you got planned for 2021? How are you looking at it?
I'm just going to carry on doing the same thing I've been doing because I'm just been prepared anyway. And I'm just going to carry on, make a bit more of an effort to see certain family members or certain people. That's about it, really. I don't care about the whole COVID thing. If I'm going to check my cousin, I'm going to check my cousin. If I'm going to check, this family member, I'm going to check them. That's literally, that's all I'm doing. And I'd encourage other people to do it as well, because like you said, we lost someone recently and it's like, I didn't even know what he was going through, committed suicide, and, we don't have to go into that. And it's like, I'm thinking, right, if I would have got to speak to him about certain things that he was stressed about, that might have been prevented.
Yeah, it's true.
If he was even here having conversations like some of the things we had, he might have realised that some of the stresses that he had, it wasn't worth doing that.
Yeah, it wasn't permanent. Yeah.
And that's what happens when you don't see certain people. So all this thing about, stay at home, and I don't give a damn about that. If I'm going to someone's yard, I'm going to their yard. I do not care. And I've got my backup if people stop me and say, "Oh, where are you going, sir?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going here. I'm a key worker. I got this." Like, My thing's pattern. I do not care.
Yeah, trust.
You get me?
Yeah, I personally, I'm gonna just keep caring. I don't even care. I'm. You know what? For me, the way I saw it is right.
Like, COVID is not an excuse not to go check your utes. Do your job. Do your job, fam. Like, you're going out there linking a chick right now. I know you are breaking COVID rules, blood. Go see your ute.
For me, with 2021, I'm just gonna just carry on. I'm definitely looking at more healing in terms of just certain things I've held. Because 2020 has shown me a lot. Like, I've looked at and observed people and I've been like, rah, is this how you've been all this time? Or is this how you need help? Or this is how you've been screaming for help all this time? You know, how can I help that? Or how can we build? Or how can we work together as friends, family? But for 2021, I'm just going to go into it. There should be no New Year's resolutions, period. If you're going to have any change in your life, don't let it start on the new year. Let it start now as you're saying it.
Yeah.
Because the New Year's resolution thing for me, again, is a cop-out to actually doing it. What you're going to do is you're going to align yourself with a reason or an excuse because of a season or holiday, and then just literally fail at it. Most New Year's resolutions get broken after the 3rd of January. You know what's there? Because the weed, the alcohol, everything's worn off now, and you're now into the reality
you just have to want to stop doing whatever it is, or you want to start doing whatever it is. It's just, and want to do it, just do it, innit?
And not even only that, just what you got to do, you also got to understand things from a perspective of like, if you really want change, work at it, but it's not going to happen at light speed. That's this generation's biggest thing. Like, our generation, we were kind of rushed, but we always knew, like, you know, like mum said, have patience. All right, cool. We will pace out the 4-year university course. We will pace out a full-time job to a point where, like, you get to 10 years in this full-time job and you might be like, right, I might also just stay and just get my pension. Whereas now, these kids, it's mad, bro. They're not even patient enough to actually, like, you know, prepare themselves just for, you know, like, a life. Everything's just
they got too many distractions. That's
right. Too many distractions, too much options. Like, a girl may be like, 17. If I go gym and I don't get a bum, I'm just gonna go get BBL or whatever it is, or BD. A guy might be like, like, I see some madness the other day with Funk Flex getting liposuction. I was just like,
I was about to say, there's grown women doing the same thing, mate.
I know, but it's like the women. I'm not trying to say it's right, but I can kind of understand because they're a bit more kind of. Well,
kind of what?
They feel more body conscious.
No, so do guys.
Look what we just said a minute ago about buying clothes and not buying.
Brother,
that, fam.
I hear that, bro.
Nah,
but I hear what I'm saying to man.
No.
A grown man going to get liposuction,
It's been
bro.
happening though.
That's mad.
It's been happening.
To me, that's mad. And I'm not trying to say that's not a masculine thing or whatnot, but for me, I'm just thinking, like, the whole one. It's like one thing. One guy, one of my friends said to me, you know, rest in peace. He's passed now. At my old workplace, he was like, he said the shortcut will make you bleed, but the long walk will make you sweat. And it's for me, it's like,
that's a bar.
You know what's there? And I
he
used to always say it to me because I used to be always cutting, like, you know, like shortcuts. I'm like, oh, right, could you do my last training? Come and cutting. You know what's there? And he used to see me like, well, Jess, he said, boy, listen, man, the shortcut will make you bleed, but the long walk will make you sweat. So
I've been sweating, boy.
You know what's there, fam?
Boy, I've been sweating. I do animation, so I know about the sweat. You get me? And case in point, not being arrogant, but some of my works in progress look better than certain man's finished video. So, man, sweated. You get me?
No, just Vicky. What's 2021 like? What would you?
I don't know. I think for me, I've just developed a bit more of a tunnel vision. So I think like, obligations are just kind of sliding. They're going over my head. I'm not really bothered to feel obligated to do these things I used to do before in terms of keeping up with people and what they're doing. And so I think I'm just developing a bit more of a tunnel vision. I'm going to happily carry that forward. That's about it.
Yeah, certain people, I'm still going to practice social distancing from, you know, the ones there, COVID and non-COVID.
Been doing that anyway.
Yeah, same. But it's, you know what it is now, like, for example, now, seasons like Christmas, Easter, what's the excuse now? If you've been having family time prior to that, what's the excuse of you going over the top during Christmas? There isn't none because you've been at home. You've been, and you know what? For me, what has taught me,
watching too much damn TV shows.
That as well. But what has taught me as well is that, you know what? I don't really need to. I mean, it's nice to do, you know, a couple of restaurants a month and X, Y, and Z and going out. But there was a lot of things that I didn't need to do that I was doing unnecessarily. So even like with my gym membership, I'm actually thinking about it to myself, what's the point really? Because people can talk about going to a place to work out and whatnot, but if you survived COVID with keeping up with a normal gym routine, then unless you're going to specifically train with specific people on specific things, you can actually achieve a lot at home.
It's like going jail though, fam. Like when you go jail, you get time to do the weights and all the rest of it because that's all you're doing. You've got less distractions. But when you're out, you get me? And I tell you how I know that, because I'll never forget there was a time it was me, my son, and Mr. Bars, and we must have met Scraps at a studio. And obviously when he was in jail, he was wedge. But when we met him then, he was a lot slimmer. Like he was still cool, but you could tell that it wasn't, because obviously everything else that's going on in life when you're outside, it changes. So although you're saying that, like in terms of the gym, some people mentally, it's like that's not they need structure, because mentally they can't keep up with certain things. It just
No, that's true. Yeah,
like in Jamaica, my cousin wakes up without there being an alarm clock. He just wakes up 6 o'clock every day,
because of
just
the sun.
like that.
Because of the sun, and when you're in Jamaica and them places there, I think Jamaica is on the equator, right? If I can remember correctly, Jamaica, Ghana. So there's a balance of, even me when I'm over in Ghana, like I can't be in my bed past 7. But it's mad, bro. The sun is beating on your skin, and you're in your bed like past 7. Like people have already started work at 5, and or the roosters, you know, ones there like
the roosters let you know.
What time it is. So it's like, I hear what you're saying. Whereas it's funny you're saying that, because I was chatting about it with my brothers the other day, and we were talking about just the fact that we hate waking up in this country here. Like we will hate waking up.
Yeah.
But when man's abroad, man wants to wake up in the morning. You know, one's there like, so that alone will mess up your whole entire mood in general.
Well, that just shows certain people, when they wake up, they don't really want to wake up, innit? Like when you're here, like if you got, because it's funny, you say you don't want to wake up here, but Christmas Day there was a whole heap of picnic that woke up early because it was getting presents. So you know you want, if you got something to look forward to, you are getting up.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's true.
You get me?
That's true. And I feel that that's definitely something that, you know, we have to look into in 2021 when it comes to what you really waking up to in the morning. You know, one's there. Are you waking up to consistently absorbing bad news, consistently absorbing negative people?
Or DMs from your side, man.
That as well. The women are going to get onto you in this episode. They're going to be on you.
I do it on
They're going to be like, right.
You get me?
What's wrong with my man over there? You know?
But yeah.
But I mean, good to wrap it up. Cool. I think 2021, you know, I wouldn't even say keep your head up. I would say just say keep going, innit? Because your head should be up already. And if it is down, then it's only going to stay down when you keep looking at it in that kind of sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, but definitely 2021 for me, I think for all of us here, we can kind of just generally say that, like, let's just have it in it. Hopefully we don't walk into a Walking Dead scenario.
Apparently 2021, like the 1st of January is going to get stricter. So,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know, change excites me, so I'm not really too fast. I'm quite adaptable. So I'm quite...
Listen, the lockdown in other countries, from what I've been seeing, you know, it's not the same as our lockdown here. I'm seeing feds on the strip. Raw, you ain't got to slip. Go back home.
I was going to say, some countries, though, they're still opening things, even though they're in lockdown. They're still like living their lives. It's just a case of nobody can come in, and that's about it.
What I'll say is, if you drive and you live alone, you'll cut through. You'll cut through. Like there's so many things you can do just to cut through. Like business-wise, socially, you can get like. You'll cut through.
Pick up. Don't feel the way to pick up side hustles like Amazon delivery, Uber Eats, because
that's what I was talking about. When I said that, I know you didn't think that's what I meant.
I thought you was talking about.
That's what I meant.
I was like,
I mean, I kind of did. But like certain side hustles. Like, and you got like once you got those things, a roof over your head and a means of travel, you're cool, because you don't know what madness the British transport system might come up with. Like if you was trying to get a train from say Luton to London, apparently inspectors are on there like, say, where you going? Like,
it's true. So, but yeah, man, any last words?
No, happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. I don't know if it's gonna be happy still.
Or wish for it to be happy, or make it happy. That's probably even a better way of saying it.
I'll start small. I'll just look forward to the wrap up that RA's doing. That's what I'll say. See that plug I just did?